be on the edge there. I'm much more of a conservative, so in that realm, I try not to push necessarily the edges, but I certainly have no problem advocating for people and their rights. We have a constitution for a reason. We have civil liberties. In fact, I teach American government.
We have no idea just the freedom that we have in this country. I know we talk about, it's crazy times we're living in, but yeah, I plan on streaming it.
Government at the local Penn State campus. I have been doing that for 12 years, in which I remind myself every semester what our civil liberties are, what they represent, that they're not just lip service. I know when COVID hit, there was a lot of lip service and people going, are they coming back?
So you can still, he is an attorney for Pennsylvania. He can either have another attorney or someone help him, or they can do it, perhaps online. There's, things that happen out of state all the time, right? So doesn't mean you can't. And that's why he is saying that, from what I understand, he would file a federal injunction, right? So it's not.
Are we going to have these civil liberties again? And the answer is yes. They never went away. And so, in the case at hand, Nick got involved in the situation in Dog because, they actually care. I know that people.
I don't know who's all gotten a cease and desist. I heard that someone on TikTok has gotten one, and one or two YouTubers so far. But that's, I believe he said. Oh yeah. He's this man. He's this attorney, Joseph Lisnick. He is Dog the Bounty Hunter's one of his attorneys. He is Seth's attorney. He's Nick's attorney. He is Seth's attorney. He is Tony's attorney. He is all of these folks. So I don't know if he represents Betty. I don't know if she's still watching. I don't know about that part. He will step in as Seth's attorney if need. Yeah. And he mentions here that, I guess, on these Hong's attorney. Yes, thank you. Correct. Cannot directly send a letter to people involving Seth, but he can go through channels through a lawyer that works. Seth's attorney that can practice in Tennessee. I mean, you can send. I mean, I don't know what you mean by a letter, but he can certainly send a cease and desist. You don't need to be an attorney. Your attorney doesn't need to necessarily practice in the state that you're sending the cease and desist, right? A cease and desist is, listen, we've got you allegedly, we feel, doing these things that are defaming us or hurting us in some way. You need to stop, or such and such actions we will take swiftly, or how they say it. So, and he mentions that they tell them, whoever they're sending the cease and desist to, what they are going to do if it doesn't stop.
Or like, oh no, they're out for the press and all that. That's not true. There are lots of cases out there, unfortunately, of child abduction and child kidnapping. This case is, has especially.
Yes. Kelsey said it. There's a term called haste vice. Am I saying it right? Is it haste? Isn't it haste? Vice admission. That means an out-of-state lawyer can participate in a case with the permission of a court, work alongside of a local attorney who's licensed in. It was a long time ago, and I needed an attorney for something that was out of state, and it kind of touched on two different states. and you had to get an attorney here to, that was practicing, really, pretty much, and they would, file some stuff or whatever. It's not that big of a deal.
Heinous aspect to it, and the fact that he's autistic, that's been so long, that, truly and honestly, there's been a lot of, from what I've read, a lot of missteps that have been taken. And so for a dog and at night to kind of come forward and bring it to the limelight and call, not necessarily law enforcement on the carpet, but get them kind of excited to move forward is important. Certainly I respect our law enforcement officers. I respect the job they do.
I mean, obviously, Nick and Dog have really, really good resources. And so, it's when you're going up against something that is someone that, especially like, that's a multi, has pretty much endless funds. It's, it's wise, in my opinion, to just, everyone just needs to calm down, right? Everyone needs to just calm down.
It's not a job I want to do, without a doubt. And so to have those people protecting us day in and day out is admirable. And it's an admirable profession to go in. I know over the last several years it's been brought into question, and I sort of like the law field. One bad lawyer can make, it's like a drop of oil in a bucket of water. To make the whole bucket look like bad lawyers. And the same thing with police. Law enforcement, I would say 99.9% of them are in it for the right reasons and moving in the right direction and trying to help. They really want to be public. They are public servants, and the ones I know, especially, expound that to the nth degree. We're lucky here in Delaware County to have a lot of committed law enforcement officers who.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, this is what they live for. Mr. E, this is. Thank you guys. So let's give a round of applause for Mr. and Mrs. E and Auntie. Wonderful people. They had no idea, that all of this stuff existed up until, Sebastian, they're locals and they really care about, bringing Sebastian home to justice. Whatever, he just needs to be found, and authorities will do what they need to do. This is clearly, at least in my opinion, a criminal case. Now, we have not been updated in nearly 6 months or so from any. Okay, thank you, Marlena. At all from law enforcement. And listen, things change in a case in that long, right? I believe the reason they haven't give us an update, in my opinion, is probably because they don't want to talk about it being potentially criminal. However, we know the FBI is on this, right? And has offered a reward. And Jennifer Coffendoff did a wonderful live, nearly in the federal government at the FBI for nearly 3 decades, 30 years almost. I think it was 28. And there's a chain of command, right? They don't offer a reward if there's not well, I mean, first of all, the FBI doesn't get involved in non-crimes, right? Like, it's criminal. They're there for crime and nothing but crime. So, Yvette, that is what I'm hoping. I hope that they are building a strong case against whoever or those that is linked in or involved in any way, shape, or form into what has ever happened or done to Sebastian.